Yo, what is going on, folks? We are back with a very special guest. If you haven't already watched his fight, September 7th against Douglas Lima, go ahead and watch it. We're not going to get into it too much. It's already been spoken about enough. I'm here to learn more about this man right here, Bellator fighter Aaron Jeffery. How are we doing, brother?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Dude, I'm doing great. I appreciate you so much for coming on, bro. Just got home from training. Told my coaches I had you coming on the podcast today, and everybody was pumped, bro.
Sick. Hell yeah.
I'm ready to get more into you, bro, and just kind of how you got started into MMA. What got you into MMA, bro? Do you remember what age you started at?
I think when I first joined a gym, I was like somewhere 14, 16, that kind of range. Um, Nothing really that special got me into it, man. I have an older brother. He's 3 years older than me. He would have buddies over, watch the fights. I started watching with them, got into it, got interested, thought it would be cool to start training, and I did. And then, yeah, just kind of got carried away with it, I guess.
Did you play any sports in high school or like do any combat sports or anything?
I did karate when I was like super young, like 5 years old, and I hated
Yeah,
it. I
yeah.
played soccer like my whole life. I played football for 1 year in high school, and I hated that. I was not really like a sports guy, man, which is weird.
You never watched sports either growing up, or just wasn't your thing?
Um, no, not really. Like my brother played hockey, so that would be the sport that I would watch if anything. But no, man, not a sporty guy at all. So it's weird that this ended up as my career.
I should probably tell the people this man is from Canada, so I didn't expect you to say football, but I was at least expecting maybe rugby or maybe something a little bit more physical like wrestling. I think that's
Yeah.
so dope, dude. When I ask these dudes that question and they've never even played any physical sports, didn't grow up doing any combat, and now they're
Yeah.
pro fighters with 10 plus fights.
Yeah, I played soccer. It's like the least fucking physical sport you can get. Yeah. Our
Besides
our high
basketball.
school didn't even have wrestling, man.
Oh,
It's not big in Canada at all, no.
did you go to a big high school or a small one?
Uh Small-ish. I'm from like a very rural area, so it was like the biggest high school near me, but I think it was like 1,500 kids.
Wow.
Yeah.
If you only had one brother?
One brother and one younger sister.
Wow, dude.
hmm
So,
hmm
how old were you when you first took your amateur MMA fight?
Pretty young, I think like 19, maybe 20.
Oh, damn, dude. Do you remember where
hmm
it was at? Like, kind of what you were going through, going to it?
Uh, yeah, it was in, I think it was in Findlay, Ohio.
Oh, you came to the
Um,
States for it.
yeah, bro, like my whole amateur career was in the States, like a lot of it in Ohio, in like a couple fights in Pennsylvania, but I think like probably 75% of my amateur fights and then the first part of my pro career was all in Ohio.
Do you remember where you first started training at?
So I'm from a small town called Tilsonburg, and it was like not even a competitive gym. It was like there was cardio kickboxing, and then there was like this old like stoner jujitsu guy that taught jujitsu classes. So I did that shit for fun, and then I moved like a couple hours away to university, and there was
Yeah.
a better gym there with some pro fighters and a bunch of AMIs and stuff. And then when I started training there, I like got more serious about it.
Did you want to do MMA from the jump? Did you want to do boxing? Was it because I started out boxing, bro, and I was getting
hmm
my shit rocked. And then I was like,
Oh yeah,
you just the stand-up boxing shit. And I watched
yeah.
and I watched boxing anyway, so I was like, I'm gonna go do this.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I was in MMA right from the beginning. Like I said, the first gym was like kickboxing and jiu-jitsu, so I was always doing a mix of both.
What did your like family think about it? Like your mom, your friends, when you told them like, I think I'm gonna do this?
I think at first they think it's like, oh, he's just got a hobby because I was young, I was still in school, I was like working part-time jobs and stuff, so it was just like, oh, he's like picked up a hobby while he's in school and whatever. Um, and then I don't know, it happens slowly over time, right? So at first my mom was like, I'm not coming to your fights, like that's crazy.
Same,
And then after
same.
yeah, and then after I had a few amateur fights and I started doing well, she was like, okay, I'll start coming to them. Um, and yeah, it just like picks up over time, right? It's not like I went from not fighting at all to like a high level pro fighter. Like you kind of ease your way into it. So here we are.
Do you remember what kind of jobs you had, bro, when you first started off that you were? Because right now, I'm guessing you do this full time. There's no other job.
Yeah.
You're a full
Yeah.
pro fighter. What were you doing, bro, when you were studying?
So when I was in university, it was just like random kind of odd jobs. One year
Yeah.
I worked at a campground. I was doing landscaping for a bit. I worked at Costco for a bit. That was
Wow,
cool.
Costco.
And then so I went to school for medical sciences and I did like a nutrition certification. So I worked at a nutrition clinic for like 4.5 years, and that was my last job.
Do you, so that was, how old were you when you had that job?
Um, I quit when I got my first Contender Series fight. I would have been like 26, so from 22 to 26, something like that.
So you got your first Contender Series shot at 26 years old?
Yeah,
Wow, against Brendan Allen?
against Brendan Allen.
Wow, bro. And then, dude, I was looking more in your fights and your record. I didn't know you fought Sean Brady in 2015 at a Kansas
Yeah,
City Fighting Championship, bro.
yeah, we were both 2-0.
What the fuck was that like?
Crazy, eh? Uh, it was cool. He was not, I mean, he was Sean Brady at the time, but he wasn't like Sean Brady at the time, you know what I mean? So it was just another dude. Like
Were you
we
in
knew
Philly?
yeah, it was in Philly. We knew he was a good fighter and he was like the hometown guy and he was the CFFC guy, so we knew it was a tough fight, but he was only 2-0, so it wasn't like I'm going in there to fight Sean Brady. It was just some 2-0 guy.
Do did you start out fighting at 170?
Mm-hmm.
What made you jump up from 170 to 185? Just the weight cut, or just you got more muscle as you gotten older?
Okay, so my amateur career was at 185, but I weighed in the day of. Like sometimes I would weigh in at 4 p.m. and I would be fighting at like 7. So,
Oh, dude,
um, yeah, it was crazy.
that's brutal.
Yeah, yeah, it was crazy. And then yeah, so I was fighting day of at 185. So I thought like, okay, when I go pro, I weigh in day before, I should drop a weight class to 170. Um, and it was doable. It was just a pretty hard diet for like 4 or 6 weeks, and I would be fucking miserable, and my family would hate me, and no one would want to be around me or whatever. Um, and then I took 2 years off. I had an injury, and I was like unsure if I wanted to do it anymore. So I took a couple years off, and I think I just grew a little bit in that time. I was walking around at like 195, and I was pretty lean, so I was like, I don't think I can make 70 anymore.
Were you doing any jobs during that time when you were just kind of taking a break? What were you doing during that time?
Uh, I think it was when I was at the nutrition clinic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I might have still been in school, I think. I might have had like 1 or 2 years of university left or something.
Is it weird, dude, that like the guys that you fought now, that you see them in the UFC at such a high level? Like you've lost, like you have five losses, right?
Yeah.
Brendan Allen, Caio Borralho,
Hmm.
three of those five, dude, top 10 in the UFC.
Yeah.
One's literally fighting tomorrow in the co-main event for probably a title eliminator. Like,
Hmm.
what are your thoughts on that, man? Because I'm 3-1. I'm just an amateur. I haven't lost to nobody with even more than five fights.
Hmm.
Imagine fighting these dudes, these three dudes, and they're where they're at now. And just like, come on, what's your thoughts on that?
It's sick, man. Like whoever beats you, you want to see them do well because it looks better on you, right? Like if I had three guys beat me that are all fucking 0 and 10 now, or 1 and 10, I guess they beat me, that would not look good on me, right? But three of the guys are doing big things. So yeah, it's cool.
And it's crazy too, man, because after that Sean Brady fight, that was your first loss. So you won four fights in a row after that. So you came
Hmm.
back, got four straight wins. You go to fight Brendan Allen at the Dana White Contender Series.
Hmm.
This was like what, 2018, 2019?
2019, yeah.
This is early. I mean, it's big at the time, but it's not like it is now.
Yeah.
What was and that bit back then you fought in a crowd. Back now it's kind of empty.
Small crowd though still.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. Small
Yeah, it
crowd.
was small.
What was your thoughts, bro, when you got that call? And then kind of like, what were you thinking in the back before the fight and the way to Vegas? Like, what was that like?
It was cool, man. And yeah, like you said, the show was very new at the time. I'm the first Canadian on Contender Series, actually.
Represent,
Hell
baby.
yeah, yeah, first Canadian,
Represent.
first Canadian. It was sick, man, because like I said, all my fights mostly were like in Ohio, so we would drive there. It'd be like a 3 to 5, 6 hour drive, maybe.
There's nothing.
I think,
There's
yeah,
fucking nothing to do.
no, it's butt fuck nowhere. And then I had one fight in Canada. So it was my first time getting on an airplane to go to a fight, and I was like, this is
Bro.
like I'm in the fucking big leagues now, man. This is cool. I'm getting on an airplane. I got a hotel room. I'm in Las Vegas. Like it was so sick. And I lost obviously, and it was like heartbreaking, but at the same time, it was still like this is such a cool experience, man. I can't believe I'm doing this.
Do you remember who flew out with you? Did you take your whole team with you?
Yeah, I had three of my coaches with me. Yeah,
What were
it was
they
cool.
thinking, dude? Because they,
Actually, my family came too. Yeah, they rented like a big Airbnb. My mom was there, my brother, his wife, my sister was there. Yeah, it was cool. Oh, one of my good buddies from back home made the trip out too. It was cool, man.
did they all have to pay themselves, or does the UFC do anything?
No, UFC doesn't do anything.
No, I'm just asking. I'm not throwing shade. I'm not throwing
Yeah,
shade.
yeah,
I'm
they
just
don't do a
wondering
whole
because
lot.
that's dope for
Yeah,
your family to do that, man. They're taking
yeah, it was cool.
their own
Yeah, it
time.
was.
They're going from Canada to Vegas. Like that's
Yep.
a gigantic deal.
hmm Yeah, it was awesome, man. And then I lost, and I was fucking depressed and drinking away my sorrows. But at least I had my family with me.
Dude, but that's badass. The fact that you even made it to the Dana White Contender Series. Dude, if
hmm
I get caught up for the Dana White Contender Series and I lose, people around me are gonna be annoyed as shit. Me always talking about me going to the Dana White Contender Series. You've been there 2 times, bro.
Yeah.
You've been there twice and you fought dogs. What was the difference between going the second time versus the first time?
Um, that's a good question. I had already been there, so it felt like a bit more
I bet that helped.
comfortable, I guess. Yeah, like it
Yeah.
wasn't such a big deal anymore. I actually trained in Vegas for like 5 months before that fight too.
Oh, damn. At
Yeah, I was
Syndicate?
like, yeah, at Syndicate, I was like training at the PI and stuff. Like I was training with Strickland a lot, so it all felt like more natural this time. It didn't feel like a big deal. It felt comfortable, and it felt like this is my redemption. This is my time. And then I fucking lost again.
Nah, stop. What was it?
Yeah.
What was it like training with Sean and Eric Nixon and all them dudes?
I wasn't with Nick Sick because we were at Syndicate. So the
Oh,
coach
okay,
there's
okay, my bad,
John Wood.
my bad.
Um, but it was sick, man. Strickland wasn't like as big of a name at the
Mhm.
time. He was just kind of on his way up. But it was fucking cool, man. Obviously, he's one of the best in the world. I feel like he kind of took me under his wing a little bit, beat the shit out of me for a few months. I actually cornered him for one of his fights. I cornered him against Uriah Hall. His
Oh no shit! At the Apex,
first main event for Strickland. I was in his corner.
dude, I couldn't believe that fight because I was big
Yeah.
Strickland trained, but I didn't know how his style was gonna do. Just straight up boxing these fools and just walking them down. And before
hmm
he really got big, Strickland would talk shit in the octagon. He'd
Oh
scream
yeah.
at the dudes. At this fight, bro, he took it dead ass serious. There was no
Yeah.
joking. He boxed Uriah's face off,
Yeah, he fucked him up.
fucked him up.
Yeah.
What was what was Strickland like? Because we always hear all this shit about him. Everyone talks shit about him in training. But Eric Nixon and everyone that trains with him says he's one of the best training partners. He's kind of like a coach into the gym.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what's he like behind closed doors, bro? Like, because everyone thinks he's just this American psycho.
Yeah, he's a little bit of that, but I mean it's like he trains hard. He'll beat you up, but he's not an idiot. He's not like trying to hurt people. He's not going too far with anything. He'll talk shit and piss some people off, but the way he trains is very professional.
And that's I don't people are just kind of soft about it, bro. We have a guy at our gym too. He's an older guy. He's in his 30s. He doesn't do MMA, but he's a beast at Muay Thai. Same
hmm
shit, bro. When we spar with him, you're getting your stomach teeth out of you. You're
Yeah.
getting heavy knees. You're getting clenched. Your fucking necks get pulled down. But at the end of it, it's all love. He'll show you what you did wrong, kind of give you some advice about it. But he is
Exactly.
known as an asshole. Like around the
hmm
gym and around this, like
Yeah.
that trains there, he's an asshole.
Yeah.
I love sparring with him after, dude, because I feel like I grow so much better. And then when I spar people after that, dude, I
Yeah.
feel so laid back and just relaxed.
Yeah. Or when you fight, man, like if none of
Oh,
your
fuck.
training partners are going hard on you and then you get into a fight and it gets hard, you've never experienced that before. You're like, oh, what the fuck? No one does this to me in the gym. I don't know how this feels. Like this is hard, but if you're in the gym and you're sparring hard all the time, you get into a fight, it gets hard. You're like, yeah, I've been here before.
Speaking of hard Muay Thai dudes to spar against, I heard you sparred against Khalil Roundtree. What the fuck was that?
Yeah. He was one of my least favorite guys to spar with, probably.
Dude.
Not because he's such a fucking sweetheart, man, and he like
Yeah.
doesn't want to hurt anyone at all, but like fuck, man, he's big and powerful and explosive, and I'm like, I don't want this guy hitting me with anything.
Where did you train with him at? Syndicate?
Yeah, Syndicate.
So I see that. So right now, are you where are you at? Are you back at home?
Yeah, I'm at home right now, but I'm like pretty much half and half home in Florida.
That's my next question, bro. What made you want to go to Kill Cliff, and what's the difference between that gym and the you train at Niagara Top Team, right?
Yeah,
What's the difference there, man? What made you want to go? Because you went all the way down to the country. You probably get asked this
yeah,
question 70 times, but
yeah.
it's crazy to me that you go from Canada to the bottom of Florida.
Man, to be honest, I didn't even want to go. I just fought my last fight, CFFC. It was in January. We're in Philly in the middle of winter. There's like fucking 3 feet of snow on the ground. My girlfriend's like, let's go to Florida. Let's go somewhere. Take a week vacation. You just fought. Let's go enjoy yourselves. And one of my friends, his dad had a condo there, so we talked to them, and he said, "Yeah, go down and stay for a week." So I went to Florida. I took a week vacation, and I knew a couple guys, Canadian guys, that trained at Killcliff, and they were there at the time, and I was like, "Fuck, I guess I'll go check it out for at least a few days. I might as well since I'm here." And I went for a couple days, and I loved it. I ended up staying for a month. It was supposed to be a 1 week trip, and I stayed for a month.
What part of Florida is it in?
Deerfield Beach. It's
Oh,
like maybe an hour from Miami.
how far is that gym from American Top Team?
Pretty close, like
Oh,
30,
damn.
40 minutes maybe. Yeah.
So that's what's crazy. So, oh, well, you said you had some Canadian fighters over there. I was about to say, what
hmm
made you want to go there versus American Top Team? But I get it now.
Yeah, just because I knew the guys there.
Dude, and the people that you have there, Gilbert Burns,
hmm
Usman, Robbie Lawler, what's it
hmm
like being around those dudes? I'd be starstruck, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. I wish I could tell you, like, I wouldn't give a fuck. I would be, oh shit, Robbie Lawler's showing me how to throw a jab correctly right now.
Yeah. Yeah. It's cool, man. Like so many legends in the room. And yeah, at first it's a little bit weird. Like I
Yeah.
remember coming home, like if Robbie Lawler would help me with something during practice, and I'd come home and I'd be like, "Hey, fucking Robbie Lawler talked to me today. This is crazy. Robbie Lawler's helping me out. This is so cool." But then once you get to know him for a little bit, you're like, "Oh, he's just a fucking normal dude, and he's awesome. He's friendly. He's fucking sick. He's just there trying to help everyone else out." So now he's just kind of one of the guys in the room.
That's kind of how I feel, man, when I do these podcasts. Like, because I've watched y'all fight, man, and I see kind of just what y'all do. And then when I'm able to talk to y'all, I'm like tripping the fuck out. And then
Yeah,
after, I'm like, oh, dude, he's
he's
literally just
just a
like a big
guy.
him I would train with.
Yeah, yeah. We're all just guys, man.
Are those? I don't know how you want to go down there, dude, with all those Russian assassins and all the killing
Yeah,
shit. Because I train at a small gym, man. I tried the big gym and it just wasn't
yeah.
my problem. And what's the
Where
difference?
are you?
I'm in Houston, Texas.
Okay, cool.
I train at Heritage Muay Thai, and then my
hmm
friend just opened up a gym, and we're starting to train there a little bit more now. I'll try to give him
Nice.
a little bit more love.
Cool.
But is your gym at Niagara small, or is it kind of like the same vibe as Kill Cliff?
I would say the vibes are similar. Like I think that's why I like both gyms so much, man. It's like good team atmosphere. Everyone's helping each other. It's like shut up and work hard, but like very team atmosphere. Um, we're like a medium-sized gym, I'd say. Like we've got a lot of I mean, we have a few like pretty established fighters right now, but also some up and comers. Like I'm there. There's a girl who's there, Jasmine Jasdavicius. She's like close to the top 15 in the UFC. There's Mike Malott who's there. He's had a few fights in the UFC. His last fight was Neil Magny, didn't go his way, but otherwise he's done very well in the UFC. We have another guy, Siri City, who trains with us pretty often too. He's a 135er in the UFC. And then we have a lot of guys that are like right on the cusp of probably like contender series or UFC shots.
Who's y'all's head coach over there, or the guy you train with?
Chris Prickett is his name. He was a coach at the university where we are, Brock University, and they were like the best wrestling team in the country for many, many years. He's a sick wrestler. He was an Olympic alternate,
Oh,
and
damn.
he's been in MMA for probably about 10 years now.
How long has he been there, and have you been linked up with him since you started over there?
He's been in Niagara for I don't know how long. I'm guessing 10 to 15
Yeah,
years
yeah,
maybe.
yeah.
Um, I've probably been training with him for close to 10 years now, I think.
Oh, damn, Aaron.
hmm
And how old are
And
you?
we're like very good friends. I would consider him like one of my best friends. He's awesome.
How old are you right now?
I am 31.
So you got with him when you were 21 years old.
Yeah, something like that.
Dude, dude, that's
Yeah,
wild
we've
that
been
you
through a
know
lot. Yeah.
that. You got with the guy that knows that. My first gym, dude, I started at a gym that I thought the dude knew what the fuck he was talking about. And
Yeah,
so it took me like two or three gyms to find that vibes where I'm like, oh, okay, this dude
for
actually
sure.
sense putting my combos together, actually cares about what I'm doing outside of here.
Yeah, yeah. But you don't know what you don't know at the start too, right?
Dude,
Like
dude.
when your skill level is so like rudimentary and then you go somewhere, you're like, oh, this guy's fucking sick, and then you learn a little bit and you're like, oh, maybe this guy's not that sick.
Yeah. How how did you and Impa become such good friends, bro? Did you meet him at Kill Cliff?
Yeah, I mean, same way any fighter becomes friends with another fighter, we beat the shit out of each other for a few rounds and we're like, damn man, I like you.
You're pretty cool, dude.
Yeah, that's fun. Let's do it again.
So is it weird? Because dude, I don't really get this PFL Bellator combo thing. But
Me
do y'all
neither.
fight in the same, you know what I'm saying? Do y'all fight in kind of like the same promotion? Because I know he's at light heavyweight now. He used to be at 185. You fight at 185. So it's kind of how that works.
I'm so PFL owns both of them. Like when I get contracts and shit, everything says PFL on it.
Oh,
So I guess technically we're kind of in the same promotion. At any point, I guess they could like switch us up and put us in the other one. But so far, like not much for me has changed. Obviously, like I've had two fights since they've merged, and they both just been Bellator fights. So
do you still get to talk to Scott Coker? Or is he even involved anymore?
I no, I don't think so.
Oh, damn. Did you ever get to meet him?
Nope.
Damn. Well, I was about to
Yeah,
ask what he like because I hear so many good
yeah.
things about him.
Never met him.
Who's kind of like running the promotion over there now?
I don't know. Maybe I should know.
No, you're good.
uh,
No, you're good. I'm literally just asking. Just
Ray
off rip.
Sefo. Ray Sefo. You know who that is?
Yes, yes, yes.
He's I don't know exactly what he is, president or promoter or whatever, of PFL. Don, what's the guy's name? Don something is the owner.
I'm
I don't
kind of
know.
putting
These
you on
guys
the
that,
spot, bro. I'm literally just throwing this shit out there. I don't
yeah,
blame
I
you.
know. They're not like, I feel like they don't try and put their faces out there as much as like
Yeah,
Dana White, right?
that's why I'm asking. I just was like, maybe
Yeah.
he knows that I don't fucking know.
Yeah. No, I don't know that much. To me, it seems like they don't care to be involved, like face on the camera as much as like Dana.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know.
Where is like a place you fought at, bro, that was one of your favorite places that you've been at?
I really like Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
I
I
bet.
fought, yeah, I fought there twice. I had two awesome nights there. First one was when I beat Austin Vanderford on 8 days notice, and then the other one was Dalton Rasta. So both were like pretty sick nights for me. And Sioux Falls is a cool town. It's like a pretty small town in South Dakota. I'm from a small town, so it felt like more homey than going to like Vegas or something like that.
Yeah. And then speaking of that Austin Vanderford fight, when you get in a Bellator, what were you thinking? Because you got in a Bellator and you won your first fight TKO.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you go from that, and then they kind of set you up. I didn't know it was on 8 day notice. That's fucking crazy. They kind of set you up with kind of like their face of the promotion. They really hyping that guy up. He's always in the rankings. They always have him on promotions. So I would consider him kind of the face at the time. They put you up with him. You get the
Mm-hmm.
first round, or you get this first fight over there. You get a TKO.
Mm-hmm.
What were you feeling when you got the call on 8 days notice, dude? And then when you knocked him out in the first round.
Yeah. I actually asked for that fight.
Wow.
Yeah, because he was fighting a guy that had pulled out of a bunch of fights before. They were supposed to fight in a few weeks, and I told my manager, "Hey, if this guy pulls out again, like put my name in. I want that fight." And they messaged me like a little like I guess it was maybe 10 days out, and they said, "Hey, were you serious about that Vanderford fight?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And they said, "Well, the guy just pulled out, so we're gonna put your name in." And I was like, "Let's fucking go." Um, it was sick, man. There was like it's high reward, low risk, something like that, right? Like I've only had one fight in the promotion. He's like a title contender.
Yeah.
Nobody really knows who I am. I'm taking an 8 days notice. I'm not really supposed to win the fight. So for me, it was like this is a great opportunity. I'll make some money, and it doesn't really matter what happens. And fortunately, it went my way.
And you were on a big card. It was Musasi versus Eblin
Yeah,
was the headliner. So you know you're
yeah,
getting views on that card. people
Yeah.
are probably showing up just to watch him beat this dude who just took this fight on 8 days' notice.
Yeah.
And knock him out, bro, within 2 minutes. What
Yeah.
was your thoughts, dude?
It was surreal, man. It was crazy. I just couldn't believe it was happening.
Did y'all do anything to celebrate after it that night?
Um, the usual. I mean, you're in a
The
new
usual.
town and it's already late, so grab a case of beer and a couple boxes of pizza and have some fun.
Dude, you've been very active too, bro. Is there a reason, like, are you just trying to get as much as you can while you're kind of in your prime right now, or you just like to stay that active?
I mean, I wish I was more active, man. I've only been fighting twice a year, which is like it's okay. I think three times would be perfect, but I mean, we only make money when we fight, and I've only got so many years of this in me, right? So I might as well do it while I can.
Isn't it crazy how many like big names you fought over there since you've been in so fast? Like you fought Fabian Edwards. Great fight.
Hmm.
Didn't go your way, but you lost a decision,
Hmm.
29-28. Great fight.
Hmm. Hmm.
And Leon Edwards' brother, the champ, was the champ of the UFC. You beat Austin Vanderford. You beat that first guy in the debut, and then they give you
Hmm.
Douglas Lima.
Hmm.
Beat him. I mean, I don't want to ask you what's next. That's the most casual question to ask you. But kind of like, I mean, you're kind of in a good spot, bro. Do you
I
think
think so.
you think you fight for a title next? Or you think you kind of just wait it out and see what happens?
Well, they've already got the next number one contender. So Eblin and
Yeah.
Edwards fight again in a couple weeks, and then they already have the next guy in line who's going to fight the winner. That's Costello Van Steenis. So I've got at least one more fight before a title shot. So yeah, whatever, man.
And then really, are you, at this point, do you even care about getting to the UFC, or you're just kind of going where the money is and where you can get the most amount of fights?
Um, yeah, I mean, Bellator has been very good to me. Feel like I have a home here, like I have some stability in my career. So I've got a couple of fights left in my contract. We'll see what happens after that, but I'm pretty happy here right now.
And then a couple questions, bro, before I get you out of here. What is the secret to the mullet?
Well, my girlfriend is my hairstylist, so that's pretty convenient. Yeah.
Well, how long have you done it? When did you want to start doing it?
Um, It was right when COVID started. I guess it would have been like 2020. I don't know. Everyone was just like growing their hair out during COVID. It was like you couldn't see the barber, even though my girl is a hairstylist. Like I said, we were all growing our hair out, and then eventually it was just like in my face too much during training. And I was like, you know what, a mullet will be funny for a bit. I'll just do that. And then I fought with it the one time, and like the commentary was talking about it so much, and I was like, oh, that's funny. Maybe I'll keep this around for a bit. And now it's like my whole personality, so I cannot get rid of it.
Have you got to meet Big John McCarthy over there at Bellator yet?
Yep, met him a few times. He always does the commentary
Yeah.
interview on fight week. Yeah, he sits you down and just asks you about the fight and stuff.
What's he like? Because I've always wanted to meet him as well, bro. And I know I'm throwing you on the spot with some of these questions, but kind of just like your
Yeah,
personal opinion. What's
he's
he?
cool. He's down to earth. He's like I feel like he's kind of intense to be around.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Yeah, yeah, but he's cool. He's super nice.
What is your favorite walkout song, bro, that you've came out to and you would like to come out to again?
I like the last one that I came out to. It's Take Warning by Operation Ivy.
Damn, what made you pick that?
I've just been only listening to ska music lately, and I like Operation Ivy a lot, so I went with that.
Aaron, you're the man, bro. Before I get you out of here, I just want to know how crazy is it, man, going from where you've started being an amateur? Because you're in my shoes. I'm 20. I'm kind of in your shoes when you started. I'm a
Yeah,
little later. I started at 22. So
yeah,
I played football. I did all that. Like I said, I did boxing. I didn't know if I wanted to even do this MMA shit. I did it to stay in shape,
yeah,
to stay active. Like you said, to stay meeting people, stay just kind of
hmm
up. Because if not, you just get lazy. You stop wanting to do nothing.
for sure.
So I'm 3-1 in MMA, 1-1 in Muay Thai.
Hmm.
We're gonna get this shit going, Aaron. But
Hell
anyway,
yeah.
how does it feel? Because I just kind of want to know, how's it feel going from where you started to where you're at now, and just what are your thoughts on everything about your career?
To be honest, man, it doesn't feel any different. Like from my first amateur fights to now, they all feel like big fights. They all feel like pressure. They all feel intense. Um, yeah, it's like I don't really take too much time to like sit back and look at everything. Obviously, I've come a long way, but feel like I'm still the same guy doing the same thing, man.
You're the man, bro. I appreciate you so much for coming on the podcast, man. Some of these questions I feel bad throwing you on the spot for.
Not
Just
at all.
me being curious, bro. Y'all have to go check out Aaron Jeffery. Aaron, tell the people where to find you at and just kind of what you got going on.
Yeah, everywhere on social media at AAJ MMA. I got nothing going on.
Y'all heard it here, folks. Follow the man, Aaron Jeffery. I thank you so much, bro, for coming on. We love to have
Thank
you
you,
on
man.
again. Shout out Canada. Shout out Bellator. Shout out PFL. Shout out Mullets.
Oh
Shout
yeah.
out 185. Shout out Kill Cliff. Shout out Niagara Falls. We're out of here, folks.